27 Action News at 6.
There are new developments tonight in the Action News investigation into Duval County's public defender. Within the last 30 minutes, we've heard from Matt Shirk's office.
This while the state attorney's office says it cannot lead an investigation of the defender's office, citing a conflict of interest. Action News investigator Lindsay Gardner is in the Breaking News Center. And Lindsay, you have been looking into these allegations for months.
Yes, Paige, and I first told you here on Tuesday we would hear from Matt Shirk today. It took until 5:30 tonight. Instead of hearing from him in person, we got this 3-page news release via email. The message says a Jacksonville law firm will now handle all public records requests for Shirk's office and review all actions by the public defender and his staff over the last 5 months. They will then report their findings to the public. We are still waiting for Shirk to address our investigation. Where in the world is Matt Shirk? As turmoil inside the public defender's office boils up, Shirk's keycard swipes at his downtown Jacksonville office remain few and far between. As Action News first reported on Tuesday, public records obtained by a Freedom of Information Act request show Shirk's card has been swiped only 14 of the last 54 work days at his downtown Jacksonville office. This just since June 12th. The absence of the swipes follow the questionable firings of 3 female employees, 2 of the 3 hired just this summer from the Whiskey River Bar and Restaurant. Sources say their firings came after a confrontation with Shirk's wife, Michelle. Records obtained by Action News show Shirk's wife's keycard was swiped at her husband's office on June 13th. As a non-employee, Michelle Shirk had not gone through the proper office background checks, yet she still had an access card. The existence of her card was deleted days after a request for it by the Florida Times Union. Tonight, new questions about Matt Shirk's management of his more than $9 million taxpayer-funded budget. Action News has learned just 6 months ago, Matt Shirk had a shower installed inside his office. So far, the office has been unable to tell us how many taxpayer dollars were used to install that shower. Further questions about taxpayer money involve the hirings. That brings us back to the Whiskey River employees. In addition to hiring the girls from a local bar, Shirk hired Ron Mallett, then promoted him to a full-time chief of staff position, earning $98,000 a year. Mallett signed all 3 termination letters. He is also the same voice you hear asking an outgoing investigator on a voicemail to replace his resignation email in a response to our open records request.
Hey, buddy, it's Ron. We got a public information request regarding your resignation from Action News. Would you mind if we actually typed up a resignation letter so that we don't have to use the email and make it more official?
We called almost every other public defender's office in the state of Florida, and we found most don't have the extra position of chief of staff. And of 20 public defender offices in Florida, most top brass have a law degree. We checked with the Florida Bar, and Mallett does not. What he does have, another career. A records check shows Mallett is the vice president and CFO of Thigpen Heating and Cooling in Jacksonville. I stopped by the office this week, and they tell me Mallett is in their office every morning. Then he heads downtown to the public defender's office. When I asked Shirk's office for Mallett's job description, a spokesman told me he would have to look into it. Action News has filed a public record request to find out. As more questions continue to be raised about a lawyer's office potentially breaking state laws, questionable use of taxpayer dollars, and the ethical behavior of a top elected official, we are all left to wonder, where in the world is Matt Shirk? And while I was on air at 5, bringing you the breaking development from the state attorney's office, I received an email from someone claiming to be Matt Shirk's wife, Michelle. She says she does not wish to discuss her personal private life on the news, but, quote, I stand beside my husband in knowing he is qualified and has and will continue to do great things with the public defender's office and all of his dedicated employees. Paige?
All right, Lindsay Gardner, thank you for that. And just a few hours ago, I reached out to the chair of Duval County's Republican Party. Rick Hartley told me, as chairman of the party,